my name is Clayton Patterson. I'm sitting here on John Joseph's couch in his apartment and
drinking juice.
Drinking juice, getting holy.
No gin and juice, just the juice.
Just the juice. And I've known John for years, and I've known that he's given a lot back to the community. John also was from the Cro-Mags and a community person, has supported and given to the community for years. So, John, tell us your story.
Where do I begin?
This Lower East Side would be good.
Well, I ended up actually down here 1976 after we got removed from a bad foster home, and state closed the house down. We were there for 7 years and ended up in St. John's Home for Boys in Rockaway Beach.
And you were got into dealing drugs in that for a while, and that was your first introduction to the Lower East Side, right? You were like a drug mule at that time.
But what happened, and it's funny because my boy Googie, he's the original drummer for the Misfits, he said, he said, I used to see him in 77, man, he was a little kid and hanging out with all the junkies in Rockaway. We've been friends ever since. That's 30, going on 33 years, man, so.
But Misfits were from New York?
No, they're from Jersey. I'm from New York.
There you go.
I just remember like stepping off that F train on, they called it First and First. We're going to First and First, Elridge Street. And like the minute you stepped off that train, Elridge and Houston, it was like, you just knew it was like, you could just get a sense of the danger.
And what did the A, B, C, and D mean?
But they used to say that if you were white or whatever, or you didn't know people down here, that if you went to A, you were adventurous, B, you were bold, C, you were crazy, and D, you were dead.
And then eventually you got into music, and that's where you met the Bad Brains, right?
Well, I met the Bad Brains when I ended up getting locked up. I racked up a bunch of cases, selling angel dust, selling weed, and breaking and entering. So I had all 3 cases running concurrent. They sent me to Spofford. I mean, this is going back 78, 79, and then I went into the Navy and ended up in Norfolk, and that's where I met the Bad Brains in 1980. And me and HR had this like deep conversation like about spirituality. They had just started becoming Rastafarians, and it was like, he gave this prediction, like, they started talking with the patois, like, and he's like, yeah, man, Jah will put us on the path, we'll meet again. And then I hitchhiked, and I caught a ride with the Undead back to New York. And everybody thought I was from D.C. I'm like, I'm from here. But I caught a ride with them, and then the first people that I ran into when I got out of the van, it was HR standing in the doorway at 171A. And then, like, he's like, yes, Rastafari, like with this big smile. But the first rehearsals of the Cro-Mags were at 171A, and it was Dave Hahn, the Bad Brains manager, was a drummer. He played drums, and this other guy, Dave Stein, played guitar, and Harley on bass, and then myself on vocals. So that was the first Cro-Mag lineup, just an eye-opening experience, and HR really opened my eyes to a lot of stuff, the Bad Brains, and then I got to meet, devotees and get Srila Prabhupada's books, and, that's talk about paying the gifts back, it's, those books saved my life. Everything I've been through with the drugs and the guns and the knives and the drug dealing and the just violence of my life, once I read these books, the whole veil of illusion was lifted. We buy cases of these books. We give out thousands and thousands of these books at Rockefeller Center. And that's why they let us out there. It's First Amendment, freedom of speech. So we give out the books to every single person who gets a hat. And this way they give charity, it's good karma, and then they get to read some philosophy. Let's go up and give out some hats, man, and give out some books, show you what I do, because it's some funny shit. We'll get some ladies in a minute. Sorry, love, while we're filming, darling. Hold on, come here. See, they're in a hurry. It's hard to get them to stop sometimes. They're spending thousands to be here in New York. They get ripped off. I mean, there's stores around Fifth Avenue or Rockefeller Center charging them $35 for the same hat, And if they give $10 and they get a hat and a book and have a nice conversation, they love it. Listen, we got complaints that you girls were too friggin' well behaved.
We love New York.
You know why you're getting the fire department?
My husband's the fireman.
Because you're friggin' hot. That's for you.
All right. I like it. And my son's
And listen, you get the pink one. It matches my thong that I'm wearing. Yes. Rockefeller Center lets us come out. We harass all the good-looking women for the soup kitchen outreach downtown. We're helping to feed needy people, a lot affected by the storm too. So we give you a hat, but as my old man would say in Ireland, we ask you to be kind, pay the friggin' fine. You know this guy?
I'll cover her.
You know, the great thing about Rockefeller Center, you go up there, you collect a donation, then you give it to Adi, and it's like, there isn't all this overhead and administrative costs. He takes that money and goes and buys food, and the next thing you know, you're out there and it's getting served to the people. You gotta love what you're doing. I love writing. I get up every day, man. I just can't wait to get out of it. I dream about scenes that I write for my movies and stuff like that, and the music and everything. So, it's been a real gift to me, music, and
So far you've written 2 books, Evolution of a Cro-Magnon and Meat is for Pussies.
Yeah, Meat is for Pussies is, that's my first book on health. It's really like, it's funny, man. It's, like it says, it's a how-to guide for dudes who want to get fit, kick ass, and take names. And, and what I'm saying with the title, I'm not judging you. I'm saying if you want to be a pussy dependent upon the drug companies to keep you alive, then put the book back. It's not for you. And that's why once the Bad Brains taught me about nutrition, and J. W. Lee, the late J. W. Lee, who produced their first album, was Raw Foods, and he turned me on to that in '81. Once I got that knowledge, you can't, you can't dumb yourself down, man. You can't stay stuck on stupid. I'm telling you now, man, I'm 50 years old. I mean, you see what I do on stage. I treat my body as if it's a temple, man. I don't judge nobody that drinks or does whatever. That's just not my thing, man. I got goals that I'm trying to achieve. I come from punk rock in the 70s, and you still see people going to bars and sitting in there, with their drinks like, oh yeah, man, we used to be like, I don't want to be one of those dudes, I want to be able to still go out and kick ass when I perform or do whatever, and not have daydreams about the shit that I want to do.
I have to say, out of all the people I've known for years, John is one of the people who is truest to his mission. What he says is what it is, and what he says is how he lives.
Thanks for coming out. Hey, we're going to kill it tonight. And I'm rocking the Sea Shepherd shirt representing for the captain. And we'll see you guys up there.
Cro-Mags for me are essential to hardcore. If you don't know the Cro-Mags, you don't know hardcore.
Ugh.